Hello, I'm Dr. David Hawkins, and I've been talking to you a lot about this issue of narcissism and men who have narcissistic personality disorder, or more likely, narcissistic personality traits. And I've already shared with you that there's a lot of confusion out there about this issue, and men are being diagnosed wrongly all the time with NPD when really they have narcissistic personality traits. We have great difficulty in identifying, is it really just traits or is it the disorder? And of course, you've read about the different aspects of NPD, so you know that an individual with NPD or narcissistic traits has these issues with grandiosity, entitlement, exploitation of others, self-admiration, easy wounding. They tend to be just incredibly well defended. And so because of that, because they're going to use projection, blame shifting, incredible denial, because of that, at first glance, it would appear that these men cannot really be treated. And so you've been told to run, don't walk. And as far as I can tell, I'm one of the only people that is saying, wait just a minute. There's a principle that you've heard that is really a powerful principle. And the principle goes like this: without a breakdown, there can be no breakthrough. But fortunately, that implies that with a breakdown, there can be a breakthrough. And I have found this to be the case because there's a universal truth that many of my colleagues are missing. And that is, these men desperately need their woman. Now, I don't say that in any kind of way that it is really their woman, though in many ways they may believe that they're entitled to own this person or to manage this person for their own gratification. Of course, that happens. But what I've found is that when women get good and fed up, and maybe that's through their own independence, maybe they've decided they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they are going to put their foot down, and they're going to bring about a breakdown. I've found incredible success working with these men after they've had the breakdown. Now, when a woman leaves a man who is narcissistic, he's going to first become incredibly threatened, and out of feeling threatened, incredibly angry, and then even more angry, and then even more angry. But at some point in time, if the woman says, I'm not coming back unless you get help, I get a phone call. I get lots of phone calls. I get lots and lots and lots of phone calls. Who? From these men. The men that are very, very dependent on their mate. Yes, for many wrong reasons, for their own gratification. But I find that many of these men are very, very emotionally immature, very emotionally needy. And so as long as all of this grandiosity and entitlement and angry defiance, as long as all of that is enabled, it's going to continue. And when it is no longer enabled, when you break free and you say, look, you have got to get help. You've got to get really good help, good depth help, and I want to speak into that help. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you talk to the therapist that's working with him so that he can't charm, and charm, of course, is another one of his traits. He can't charm his way out of this problem. He can't charm his way back into the home. No, this breakdown has got to last for a significant amount of time until there is an insight into how he is treating other people. And so we work with these men, we can cultivate empathy. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, empathy can be cultivated. I know, everything says no, no, no. They don't have empathy. They don't care about anybody else. They're incredibly misogynistic, and they're just going to use a woman until they just use her up. Can that happen? Of course it can. There are some sociopathic narcissists. Now, I'm not talking about that end of the spectrum. I'm talking about men who have narcissistic traits. Those that have traits can cultivate empathy. They can develop caring and compassion. They can learn how to be connected in a healthy way. So there you have it. So if you are interested in helping your man to heal, then I want you to bring about the breakdown that leads to the breakthrough. I want you to speak into his therapy. I want the therapy to be a combination of individual and couples therapy. I want him to struggle. I want him to look at the magnitude of what he has done to you in this relationship. And that's what's got to be done. He's got to look at it and look at it and look at it and look at it. He's got to write the best apology letter that he has ever written in his entire life, where he fully owns and feels your pain, where he feels the magnitude of what he has done. And he begins to see that this grandiosity, this exploitation of others, this easy wounding, this blame shifting, this minimization, this justification of his behavior, he begins to see it and see it and see it. And then gradually over time, especially with a spiritual awakening, he can begin with God's help to change. So, is there hope? There really is hope. And I'm happy to talk to you more about the work that I'm doing with many, many, many narcissistic men. And the women who have had the courage to walk away and say, I'm not going to be part of this anymore. And then with clear, firm boundaries, and he will rail against those boundaries, but with clear, firm boundaries, he begins to change. So change is possible. Change is very possible. And I'd like to help you discover this path of change through the use of cultivating empathy, through the use of speaking truth into his life, hard truth. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But you've got to see the truth, you've got to own the truth. And through the use of couples therapy, when he's ready, when you're ready, and then slowly bringing the relationship back together, slowly. So if this interests you, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Dr. David Hawkins. I'm the director of the Marriage Recovery Center in Seattle, Washington. You can reach me at 360-490-5446. Email me at drdavid@marriagerecoverycenter.com. Again, Dr. David Hawkins, I'd love to help you. I'd love to help the narcissistic man to heal. Healing is available. Okay, thank you.